We are ready to get started. 1, 2, 3. Good morning. How is it? Oh, y'all, that's lame. Good morning. Good morning. Better. All right. We're gonna get started. I love all these new faces here. We will do introductions in a bit. Bucket fills. Who has something great they would like to share? Coming soon. Contracts, listings, all the things. Go, girl. Carla.
Shalene just got licensed.
Yes, you did. Yeah. Awesome. You loving it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm making it.
There you go. Drink for the fire hose, girl. Drink for the fire hose. Who else wants to share?
I just got licensed.
Please start down today, so please welcome Hannah. Having guests in our room. So thanks, Jules, for bringing her and inviting her. Who else? Anybody else? Not Bueller. Does anybody in the room know Amy Coker, one of our agents? Did y'all see where she had her baby?
Yes.
Yeah, she had a baby boy. His name is Henry, healthy and happy, and they are home living their best life right now. So if you know Amy, it's kind of, she just posted one thing and she sent me one message. I've been talking to her. So we didn't want to put it on our Facebook group because she hasn't really done a lot, but it is out there that she is home and had a baby and all the things. So if you know her, please congratulate. It's perfect. Nikki, Joy, and Tim, Guarantee Mortgage, come on up.
Well, you only have me.
We got Tim Brown.
Lots of time to fill. No, actually, not a lot of time to fill. Who here thinks it's a good time to buy a home? Okay, good. That's the right first thing. You all pass the test. I'll just walk back to the room. This is statistics compliments of David Blanton. For every 1% reduction in interest rate, 5 million new home buyers.
Say it again.
1% reduction in interest rate. So we're a little above 7% right now. And there's a slideshow. By the way, I'm having a discussion this afternoon about first-time home buyers seminars, how to put them on, what to say, how to do that. But 1% reduction in an interest rate. Yet this is not us saying this. These are economists, the Schiller, the guys that follow the housing market. 5 million for every 1%. So if you go from 7 to 6, 5 million. But you replace something to 5, it's 10 million more people. Now, obviously, more home buyers means that probably prices will continue to go up with government competition. But buying now, even at a higher rate, is better than buying a year from now, along with 2 million other people that are trying to find the same house. And because there'll be more competition, with prices remain higher, go higher. So it sounds contradictory. I think that now is not a good time, but it is. Your plan is. So that's the one thing I wanted to mention today, because it's David Blanton's slide. That every time I go to open a house and I say this is statistic. I would have that at my open house as a little stand-up thing that says this is what happened, and it makes sense when you think about it. But I want to talk about this afternoon. I did one first-time homebuyer seminar with Austin, and actually David doing as well. Fantastic turnout. We had 10 people, which I was kind of impressed with. But this afternoon, I sort of spent a lot of time thinking about how to make it efficient, how to make it cost-effective. You don't spend lots of money, and you'll have hopefully a lender like myself or somebody else that will be there as well, hopefully providing lunch, which I would do, what we would do, so that makes it a little bit more attractive. Anyway, I found Austin got like 7 that people staying in touch with, so it's turned out to be a very, very positive thing. And then getting people out and about, it'll help them understand why it's a good time to buy when they think, my God, rates are higher than my parents are never going to sell their house because they got a 3% rate and they're going to die in it because they don't want to go buy another house and be at 7%. So first-time home buyers have the advantage of not having a current mortgage, and they have no resistance to the home. So you can join me at I guess 12:30. And hopefully you'll find that beneficial. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Miss Tiffany McWhorter. Woo! Didn't come in on 2 wheels. And it's like 2 weeks in a row, baby.
Don't expect that. Good morning, I'm Tiffany with the Kelly and Sorhan. Good to see so many new faces. Congratulations. So today I wanted to talk about, I know I mentioned it probably a couple of months ago that we were gonna start doing more, ID verifications for, customers prior to closing, which you might have closed at other firms that are already doing it. We have like a real property attorneys listserv that's all of us, not just our Kelly attorneys, and I see people have started to use it. We are kind of courting companies right now, but we're at the finish line between two. But it's gonna be one of those things where your clients are gonna have to go in and it'll be like you are trying to get your credit report. Like, which of these cars have you owned? Which of these, addresses have you lived in? But the fraud has just gotten so rampant and like people are getting better and better and better at it. It's scary. So it's just a necessary thing. So I want you guys to know why we're doing that. It's to protect all of us. But the one thing that I get questions on a lot, and I think there was one on y'all's private Facebook recently that was like, how do we verify if a seller is who they say they are? And so if you need a company that can do that, both of these ones that I was kind of charged with finding the best one. Both of them, anybody can. So once we pick ours, you would have access to go ahead and do that prior to contract or whatever. And I know a lot of you guys have heard this story, but for all the new people in the room, the reason I got so invested in it is I had a seller call me and say, hey, I own this property and I've just been notified that you're going to be closing on it and it's not for sale. And I was, just like, are you kidding me? So I emailed seller from the contract and because they never gave us a phone number. It's like, hey, somebody else has contacted us and said that they own this property. What can you call me? Like, we gotta do some verification here. And they sent me their ID and they were like, how is somebody else claiming to own my property? That's crazy. And the ID had the address from the tax records, like her mailing address, not the property address. Everything looks good. So I called the other lady back and said, this person just sent me their ID, like they say that they own the property. And she was like, it's my property. My parents left it to me, like it's my property. And I just asked her, I was like, can you come by my office? Like, bring your ID, come by my office. Once I saw her with her ID, I was convinced that she was the real person. And I went back and got the ID that the other person had sent me. And she whips out her phone and it was her Facebook profile picture that they had lifted and made a really good fake ID. So it was awful for the buyers because it was 5 acres of land. They had already done a survey. They paid for a survey. They paid for septic, like a well water test, all this stuff. So that's one of many horror stories. That's just my worst one. Normally they don't get that far, but that's why we're doing it. So just be on the lookout for that. It's I think it's a really good thing. I've been pushing it firm wide for a while now, and it takes a little while to budge Joe Kelly in any direction whatsoever. But it's coming, so just know that when you see that, it's normal, and that's the reason why. It's to protect all of us from.
And I'll add to that. If any of your spidey senses start going off, anything weird, call Tiffany, call me. I had one yesterday. And it was actually the same agent who had this problem last year that was in our office. Same story, all through the phone, all through email, and then they were no longer willing to verify who they were by sending photo IDs. And I'm like, and she's like, I knew there was a problem. Like, if you, like, when that red flag goes up, how minor it might feel, start asking questions.
Was it land?
It was not land.
Was it off Friendship Road? Well, the reason I asked that question because David and I got down the road on one under contract. We got very, very lucky that one of our agents' husband was actually working with the real seller. And he called me up directly and said, hey, Ma, I see your sign on this, and somebody just told me that you have a contract on this land. I'm working right now with the seller. We're doing engineering, so that land's not for sale. So we kind of figured that one out. But Michelle Vanderwolf called me to ask me to help out to another property. Also, what this man thought was land, the fake seller thought was land.
Mhm.
We drove up and I got there and I looked at this house that was being built, which was magnificent. An absolute mansion. And I looked at Michelle and I said, this guy's scamming. So it's happening all over and they are getting
Very good.
at
Mhm.
identifying
Very good.
themselves.
Yeah.
We actually went to the real seller's house because I looked it up. Found out where he was 5 minutes from there and went to his house and said, no. So they thought it was a big.
I'll remember you.
There was another one in your office where, somebody had, one of their clients on a, like, auto,
Smart plan?
I guess through MLS or whatever, you can.
Auto
Pop up,
search, yeah.
like it'll send them, and, they sent him the property that he already owned.
Interesting.
It was listed with, not like the Keller Williams agent,
Okay.
but he said, Tiffany, what happens if it closes? You don't want it.
Seriously.
That's
Very bad.
so bad.
Very bad.
So this new system is gonna be like the initiation email? When
Yeah,
they
so
get
you
a
get
contract, your buyer and seller information sheets, it'll have, like, you gotta go through and verify your ID.
Where the hell is
So I mean, it's theft by taking, but, it's very hard to find. As they use email addresses and phone numbers that are not traceable. The title insurance companies have us report all of it, like every instance of potential fraud. And they report to the GBI and the FBI, but it's very hard to catch.
You're smart.
This is
Imagine if
different.
they used all of that, like,
Yeah.
I changed the world, solve all the problems.
This is different than the whole title selling, dealing thing, because that's.
No, this is just,
completely wrong.
can talk about that.
Right.
It's-
Awesome.
that's
I'm
kind of-
like,
Yeah, well, and Tiffany and Carmen are a resource for y'all. Call them if you have a question. They're accessible along with everyone else at OKS, so please utilize that. Thank you, Tiffany.
thank you guys.
I think Kelly, Dan, or John are here. We appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. We'll move on. Oh, I have the pickle, duh. Our partners, please stand up if you're in the room and say hello.
I'm Landon, I'm with Statewide Roofing Services.
I'm Brian Brown, Servpro Painters.
Awesome. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. April, what's going on? Our Just Do It class. Funny story yesterday. I don't think either one are in the room. We had some agents here yesterday that stayed to make phone calls. Y'all, this class is, you are gonna do it. If you stay in the room, you're gonna pick up your phone and make a phone call on whatever we're talking about. Had one agent, brand new, made one phone call, got 2 clients because his friend that he called had a friend in the room. One wants 15 acres in North Georgia. The other is looking for a house in Tucker. One phone call. And it was, scroll through your phone, stop, pick somebody. I don't care. You got to make a phone call. The other one was, oh, Stephen, you were here yesterday. Share your conversation.
So I followed up with the buyer, just pushed him in his process. And then I called someone that had 5 or 6 years, had a quick conversation, asked him if he was interested and said, yeah, in the next 6 months.
And how long had it been since you talked to him?
5 or 6 years,
And
easily.
you survived the call.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah, and so then I did role playing with another agent here because, she's like, I just don't know what to say. I'm like, all right, ring, ring, hello. Like, let's just talk this out, guys. Don't be afraid to make the call. You've got to get in action. So please come to the class. We actually have a lot of fun. So did you have fun? It wasn't too torturous. Yeah, okay. Mortgage training, that is today at 12:30. Wednesday, we have April coming from 11 to 12:30. For those that don't know Rachel, she is a top agent in KW over in Cobb County. Also owns her own marketing company. She is an amazing teacher, so you don't want to miss that. Sign up for that. And Thea is doing the social media class from 1 to 2:30 that afternoon. Level Up Your Coaching with David on the 25th. Our morning mixer this month is breakfast at Papa Jack's at 8 a.m. on Thursday. And then Holly will be here on the 30th for Fierce Negotiations. Coaching call every day from 9 to 9:30. And then our last class for the month is on the 29th from 9:30 to 11. May, kind of mark your calendar. We've got vendor fair, international potluck is at the church, United Methodist Church in downtown Beaufort on the 7th. Team meeting on the 21st. Working with senior care facilities to get listing leads. This is the top agent. This is his business platform. He is from Tennessee. And then also we've got, does anybody here know Dominique? The team leader, yeah, and also an OP for Atlanta Partners, who is an amazing wealth of information, a team owner. She is joining us on the 30th, so you do not want to miss that. Enzymes got a free CE class in May on the 2nd, the Broker Boys on the 6th. Our Red Day, May 9th. Everybody sign up. Our mixer for May is Plow and Winery, and then our call in to win, reverse bowl, whatever you want to call it, Summer Fun Sunday is on the 17th from 9 to 4. Please sign up for that. Monthly awards next Tuesday, the 30th. Monthly awards next Tuesday, the 30th. This is on Thursday, 1 to 5. This is the last session they are doing. Then after that, I don't know how long it will be before they compile all 4 sessions to make one video to share with the slides. So if you've not done this, I highly recommend it. Real estate school. Our night class starts the 30th with Mr. Blanton. Mega Agent Day. This is for all agents, not mega agents, but these are mega agents and speakers, including Ruben Gonzalez, who is a chief economist for KWRI to talk about our current state of the economy. So please register for that if you would like to attend. It's at the Aquarium, a full day of high-level panels and conversations.
And buy 2, get 1 free. I like
That's right, it is. Special buy. Buy 2, get 1 free package. Find some buddies, and you guys split the cost between the 3 of you. Much more affordable, and you can make a day of it. Carpool down there, meet here, whatever you want to do, but it'll be a super fun day. Red Day.
Take out your phones and scan it.
You guys all scan the QR code, and we put flyer. There's a lot of stuff around the market center. So we are super excited for Home of Hope on the 9th. Lots of stuff to do there. So we're so excited to see everybody.
Home of Hope is a transitional living facility for homeless children from birth to 17, along with their young moms. We take our guests from homeless to feeling more hopeful and ultimately into a home of their own.
Made a decision, hard decision, to leave, pack up everything and leave with only 75 cents in my bank account. Those hands of hope that blessed me. And to the volunteers, keep doing what you're doing because you are the vessel God is using for better to come, especially for single moms and the kids.
It's important.
Sign up.
Sign up. MAPS coaching coming up. That's the last dates going into the first week of May. Now y'all are stuck with me. I'll let you turn the air on, please. So this is gonna be a workshop style. I guess you guys can see the little things on your desk. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
If somebody called you today, could you, in 15 minutes, put your listing presentation together for a $2 million home?
Yes.
Everybody in here. I'm 100% confident not everybody can say that. Let's be real clear. And how do I know that? Because a lot of people, that's perfect. A lot of people in here got into business when you didn't have to have a listing presentation. Apple just fell on your front doorstep.
Just call it come listen.
That's right. Come listen, right? You got a pulse and a license. Hey, I got you. So we're going to talk about how to get ready. Are you ready? Can you articulate your value? Do you know your value? Are you sure about your value? Just saying. And what's in your value? Do you have a standard list of what's in your value? I know people who are veterans in this room probably do. Hopefully they've been modified over time. But can you pull out a standards that represent your value when you are creating your presentations and when you're articulating to people? If you don't, put that on your action item list. think about, are you ready for the opportunity? Are you ready for the phone call? Are you ready to do a successful open house? I have a lot of new agents in here who always are on the Facebook group signing up and volunteering to do open houses. Have you done an open house before? Do you know how to run a successful open house? Are you sure? And here's why I ask. Have some agents who sign up to do an open house. They don't door knock the week before. They don't promote the listing. They show up at open house day for 2 hours, bring some bottled water and some snacks and sit in the kitchen on their phone the whole time. Who does that benefit? Certainly not the listing agent, and certainly not the agent who is on site for the open house, who potentially could, all those leads that walk in that door, those are your leads. Not the listing agent's leads, those are your leads. Maximize your time, and if you don't know how to hold an open house, there are a gazillion one-pagers that are provided by the Market Center. David has them, KWRI, our playbooks. You can do as simple as 4 steps, 7 steps. You can make it 20 steps. Nobody really cares. It just has to be effective, and you have to actually do the things that are on the list. That's the most important. And then, are you prepared to educate your clients for the current market conversations? Can you explain NAR? Really? Most people can't. The only legal sentence that is going to change if it is approved on July 1st is that you cannot put your commission in the MLS. That's it. Our commission has always been negotiable. That is the only sentence that's going to change. Keep it simple, guys. Don't listen to the noise. Don't feed into it, and don't talk about it, about things that are not real. We're going to look at this in 2 ways. So I want you guys to think about your value, your list of standards, and we're going to workshop and kind of go through and fill in some of this. And I want you guys to think about does anybody have one of these? You said, hey, Rob. Oh, you need a copy. Oh, a blank one. Here. Does anybody have one they've already done that's filled out? See, Chelsea's filling her out over there. Can I borrow another one? Oh, can I borrow yours? Oh, sorry, you got it. Never mind. Yeah. So on here, now on these numbers here, again, what are these? Negotiable. Right? Everybody say it. What are these? Negotiable. That's right. So if you were to go in and talk about your value, what does that look like for you? What does 6% look like for you? What is 7%? What is 8%? What if you had an a la carte menu that they could choose from? What does that look like? Do you know? Do you know what to ask? Are you asking the right questions to understand what their pain points are? What's important to them? Because you can have value all day long, but if none of that solves their problems, they don't care, not going to be willing to pay for it. If you are not solving their problems or their pain points, the value is irrelevant. So you got to understand and be a really good listener on what that looks like. For example, the biggest problem we have right now in the housing market is, what do you all think? Mm-hmm. What do you feel like the biggest problem right now is for our consumers?
Portability.
Bingo. How are you solving that problem for your clients?
Like what Tim just said, and talking about buying now and don't wait.
Well, yes, and what does that look like? Do you have a lender partner? Do you have programs for everybody across the board? Do you have veteran programs? Do you have a VHA? Do you guys have people that you have partnered with? And it doesn't have to be our lenders here. It could be anybody. Do you have partners that you are solving the affordability problem? And if you don't, you're not going to win. You're just not. And I'm being real. You've got to partner with people that are going to help support you to solve the problems of your clients. Vendor resources. We all know we have vendors here. We hope that you use them. If we don't have a vendor that you need, let me know. I will try to go find one for you so that we have a full list of vendor opportunities, affiliates, that we can make sure you have a successful list to give your clients. If they need a painter, electrician, an inspector, exterminator, whatever that looks like, we want to be able to fill that gap and provide you all the tools that you guys need. I want to hear how you guys are differentiating yourself right now in the market. How do you feel like you stand out and can win the listing for the buyer? This is a two-way conversation.
There's a lot of different things to do. Something that's helped my business is giving them an opportunity to give back.
Okay,
give it
so
with-
charity.
Yep. Sprinkles of grace, call it, and they get to choose the charity of their choice, and I give a percentage of my commission to their charity.
Who else?
Because I would have to say my experience. And, my story,
How do you share your experience, your story?
I talk about how I've come from value and that I'm there to help them, but it's not just about me, it's really about them. So I talk about my experiences and how I've helped. But it don't go on about me, it's more about, here's what I've done, how can I help you? Bring that in.
Okay, who else?
Bouncing off of what Julie said, curious about helping them to get their home show ready, especially staging, whatever's required to spend them life. And I even have pictures to show of homes, how they look.
Preparation. Yeah, do the preparation. Who else?
Having your vendor contacts, help your seller get prepared to
Your vendor partners. Boys in the back. What else?
There's
Go.
also a referral pattern in Command where you can put a slide in your listing presentation. Let's say somebody wants to move to Jefferson. It'll show you everywhere they're coming from, California, or wherever it is. And you can say, well, I'm already a step ahead of you. I'm gonna go ahead and contact these people because I know them and let them know that your house is coming on the market this way. That's something else you could do. And it's a visual experience.
Do you feel like the majority of agents that you're competing against all do this? That's good. Gotta be different. What do you guys think we can add to this? Do it.
So having just moved, it's in a whole nother.
Speaking of experience, yeah.
Pains and pleasure principal points, finding someone that can do jump, take away junk, landscapers, just beautifying curb appeal, the stagers, which I think is up there. Having a stager come in and help people to envision themselves not as the owner anymore and helping them, articulate in their home, how to make it more presentable to buyers. And then, offering options, moving solutions, for packing solutions, packing materials, and that kind of stuff.
Do you guys provide a list of all of those resources in your presentations? Yes, awesome. Do you feel like you have things that you're missing in your list? Okay, how are we filling that gap?
Wait for y'all to tell me what I'm missing.
No, what are they telling you that you're missing? Or what have you not been able to solve recently? If they said this is a pain point and you had to like, oh gosh, I gotta phone a friend to ask somebody, who do I call to fix that? Okay. Something to think about though, right? Like, do we really have all of our bases covered? And so this is where we all help each other to grow a bigger business and differentiate ourselves and to make sure we get the value of what we're asking.
And it's like, I just redid the accredited buyer representative, and they said again, the best thing you can say is, I don't know, but I will find out. So you're like the most
That's right.
important words you.
That's right. That's right. Because somebody will have an answer somewhere. Might not be your next door neighbor, it doesn't matter, but somebody will have the answer somewhere. Does everybody do marketing booklets? Flyers? Yep. Do you base the house price on what style of flyer you do? Sometimes. So would that help in dictating on which column you would go in based on what flyer and what you're getting paid? What about your photo package? Say it's a home that is on the lake. Well, everybody has seen the lake and everybody hasn't seen the home. They haven't seen the lake through the home. So how are you designing your photo package to make sure that they experience the best part of the property? Because you can take a drone and look at the lake. You can go to Google Earth and do that. Like, be thoughtful and intentional on when you're going to do your photos on the property, on what you want them to experience. It's all about how you make them feel. They have got to feel the experience, not just look at it. What about staging, who all does staging in here as part of their commission? Okay. Do you feel like that has been an add value for you guys? Absolutely. Yep.
What was that? Sorry, I missed.
Staging.
Oh, yeah.
Who does staging? Mm-hmm.
Well, there's two different types of staging.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So there's one where you use all of their things and declutter, and that's how I think of it.
Yeah.
Or you literally take out their things and bring in basic model home furniture. If you have a staging company, obviously you have to, the value in that has to be, you're gonna get that in your ROI. I know that there's some agents here that they have a garage full of tons of accessories and they will go in and depersonalize the home and just bring in a few things to make it a little more universal.
Michelle Vanderwall, she probably has a whole storage building.
So doesn't Denise Probst. Her garage is packed full of them, I can tell you that. And so, yeah, so think about how are you being different and helping. If you don't want to have the expensive staging, what can you do as an agent? I mean, I think in my basement, we've moved a lot, but like I have a whole shelf in my basement of random accessories that I don't know why I hang on to, but I do, that probably somebody could use. You know, talk to each other, help each other, partner with each other. You guys, have resources, share those with each other. We don't have an official stager in the office. If you know somebody that we could partner with that would be interested, please let me know. But as an agent, until you get to a place where you feel like you have the affordability to do that, how are you doing it on your own to be different? Doesn't take much.
We have a doctor Christmas,
Yep,
and I've done
yep, where you can do, set up the rooms and so they can see
Really?
that online. Or draw pools in the backyard, if it's the pool, if there's a pool option for the property on there. There's a lot of things you can do. So make sure you guys are utilizing those tools. Those don't cost a lot, if anything. So just make sure you're using that.
When you're
What-
talking about customizing photographs, you're talking about great property.
Mhm.
Just great. Get in a boat.
Yeah.
Right up to the back of the property.
Yeah, I'll share what Teresa Smith just did.
Teresa
So,
Smith,
yeah, so she's, one of our top agents on the team on Lake Lanier. And what she did is a property she had listed. She got the whole family that lives in the home involved, who have with their children. They had their family get in the boat and take off with their kids onto the lake. It showed their kids in the front porch playing board games. They were more than thrilled to get it, because they've been in this home a long time. It's a family home. So for them leaving, it was extremely emotional, but they wanted to be a family event. And so when people see that, they're like, oh my God, kids would love that. And so they were like, can we buy the boat too? The people bought the house, bought the boat. They thought the experience was so great. So just think out of the box and figure out it has a massive chef's kitchen. Have a chef come in with a chef apron and a chef hat on and come prepare some sort of charcuterie board display. Because people want to experience what their life would be like in that home. It's not about how you make people feel, right? If it doesn't feel good, they're not going to buy it. Doesn't matter if the price is right. It just doesn't. What about cleaning, organizing, professional organizers? Does anybody incorporate that into their commission options, into their 6, 7, 8 packages?
I have a pre-clean, before putting it on market for the buyer.
And you cover that?
Yes, I have it built into my value proposition on my.
I just teach buyers like the cover listing, the listing.
Listing coverage, yep. Who in here? Oh, geez, who in here takes advantage of the 2-10 home warranty listing coverage?
Can you say that again?
The 2-10 home warranty listing coverage?
Did that.
My phone's not working. I'm trying. And don't say. Y'all, that is a huge added value. Seriously, if you guys are not doing that, you're missing the boat.
Also, some termite companies, termite, I can't remember if they're still a sponsor, a vendor. Yeah, Gilstrap does.
They are not here.
I know, that's why I didn't say it out loud.
They are not
Some
here,
companies,
and they actually did away with doing the free letter.
they don't do the free letter, they say they charge $50 for the letter, but I'm saying we have vendors that will work with you on that.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
Just-
Yes, we do. All the things. signs, are you guys, do you differentiate what expense you put into your sign for the yard based on on your commission and or the value of the property? Or all your signs equal? You guys use sign writers. Carla's like,
We have a luxury, so
you have a luxury
I
sign,
do.
okay? Do you feel like, what do you define as luxury? Like, how do you qualify for that?
Well, the price is higher now, but like the higher end listings. You post, it's like a metal material sign. It's not.
Okay, so if I am a second or third time home buyer and I just got approved to spend $450,000 and I'm 31 years old, I have won the jackpot. That's luxury to me, but that's not luxury to you. But how do you think that would make them feel if they saw?
They don't know.
Not the point, not the point. And how would that make them feel? Right, for them, that is luxury. I mean, they have just won the lottery. So think about from the perception of those that are driving down the street. If they could spend $450 and get the home of their dreams, that is luxury has arrived on their front doorstep. So think about how you're sending that message and what that looks like, because people, how you say it, how they hear it is different than our paper airplane activity we did a few weeks ago, how you communicate with each other. Just because you think you're saying it right doesn't mean they're hearing it the way you want them to. And so make sure that you understand that. What about custom websites? Do you custom websites for properties? Okay. Sometimes. What's a differentiator for you on when you don't and do them?
Full transparency is, it might not best use of my time, whereas it might not go to that specific website.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like they're normally just filtering through. So in the past, I haven't had ROI.
Okay. Anybody else have any feedback on that? Yeah.
I use the platform. By that particular property, I by the opportunity to market it or target ad.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, also provides value as other options for marketing.
Yeah. And do you guys know how to get access to listening to leads in our market center? They offer it. So take advantage of it. Yeah, take advantage of it. Who else?
You can do landing pages on command too.
Mm-hmm.
For each individual, you can have a website that is specific to your property and you can put that organically.
Anybody here doing that? Y'all. There are so many tools. There are so many tools out there that you
Local
can market.
Flavor gives one with all of their packages.
There you go. Local,
That's
one of our vendors here.
Always.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys see how there's a huge missed opportunities and some stuff on resources and leverage and tools that you guys can use to really market your properties and yourself?
Can we go through each percentage and just mastermind around? Each
Absolutely.
percentage, see what. Do.
Yep. What, can I erase this?
Yes. If y'all are. Okay. Absolutely. Write it down.
Let's shift to what Shelton wants.
Yeah.
Write it down.
I think it's a great idea.
So I think it's just identifying, okay, well, how do you justify an extra percentage?
Mm-hmm.
Do we put a dollar amount next to each item or service that we provide?
All right. What do you think justifies 6%?
I feel like that's like.
But everybody's basic is different.
Yeah.
What is your basic package look like?
Professional photos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, I share these things with people, but I don't, I let them pay for it. I don't put it in my number. I give them the resources that they pay.
Mm-hmm.
They pay for their own pictures?
Not their photos, but like some of these other things y'all are talking about, like the staging and the cleaning. cleaning it.
Mhm.
Yard, I give them the resources and
They do.
they do it.
So maybe that would be 7%, where you would cover that cost. Extra.
Mhm.
Wow, but you'll handle all the legwork for them.
That's exactly the program. That's
Yeah,
why
what
this-
what consumers want now is convenience,
absolutely.
number one, convenience.
And I
They
just feel
want,
like I handle it.
yeah, convenience
Like
and
if you,
certainty.
like if you, for example, if you have someone that is like going through probate or something like that and they need, yeah, state sales company to come out, like if you organize that, then you can add a percentage to say, okay, I'll, set this up
Say,
for
if
you.
you're gonna
have
be the
them come out.
GC of these seven
Yes. Yeah.
tools, what does that look like? Where does that fall? You know, it's 7% where you're the GC of managing an estate sale, managing the junk the junk removal, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, what does that look like to y'all? What seems fair?
I definitely did not charge enough percent. Because I've literally been the GC for the whole entire thing.
She's been
And
painting at the house.
physically doing help. It's a friend, yes, but I'm just saying.
Mhm.
So maybe. we
So
could-
this is an opportunity to learn, right? And
Right.
next time you'll know differently.
So what's
So
the
now you
number?
can put it on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
what's the number of open houses right with basic? 1, 2, what is that?
2 a month.
2 a month? What else is everybody doing here?
You have to get a team to schedule.
They better go under contract before.
But, and then so two open houses, how long does the house stay on the market? Two open houses for like a 6% commission, does everybody agree, or?
Yes.
Yeah, a 210
Yes.
home warranty.
Okay,
I think there's like a basic one you do.
yeah.
What is that warranty?
Well, Supreme is 7.
Yeah, so like
60.
550.
Mhm.
What do you want is-
Basic is 6 months.
620.
transfer to the buyer?
So that,
Yes,
Mhm.
And I'm guessing that it covers the listing, like,
it does.
just like when we had. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
And I got that on mine, but when I read through my paperwork, it's only good for 6 months.
after the listing?
Yeah, or from the date that you purchased it, and I gotta call into Kelly to find out, because I was. I was
Transferred over.
Yeah, you gotta transfer it.
When I looked at
That's
my
incorrect.
fine line, it was 6 months, cause I'm like,
Mhm.
because it only insured it from April.
During the
You're
listing
talking
period.
during the listing
That's the
period.
listing.
So
period.
it's, okay, okay,
Yeah.
cause I was like, call and look for a message, but I thought,
Yeah, that's just for the listing
Yeah.
period.
okay.
Mhm. They will only
I
do
was like,
6 months.
wait a
and
minute,
then-
it'll
Yeah.
be a year.
No,
No, it'll
no.
sell before the
Yeah,
6 months.
I think, but that's probably listing coverage, and if you have a listing for 6 months.
Something wrong with it.
Right, we'll have a conversation.
Um,
All right, 6%. So everybody feels like this is the basic package. What do you guys do for your basic package?
What about any
marketing,
marketing,
Yeah.
like social media posts?
how many?
How many posts are you doing?
Right, that's, I don't know, you tell me. Social media. Are
One,
you willing to post it every day?
weekly, at least week.
So
Okay.
I wouldn't do paid in.
Okay.
Not on the list.
What about like a split, you have a home book, and
Yeah.
then you might have like a book like one of these, but it's like pretty.
Yeah.
You set that on their counter. Are you providing fleece for their shoes? Is there a sign for that?
If you need them, I have thousands.
Yeah.
Me too.
Still. Oh. I have pink and blue.
It doesn't have to be.
Okay. What
What
else?
list, like access to your vendors?
Okay.
On senior lists. We do that. Yeah. Have a book, got an ebook.
Yeah. What else?
What?
Um,
A flip PDF of all of your vendor partners.
Oh.
That looks like an ebook.
Okay, we'll do ebook over here.
What about like directional signs? Is
Like the type
It's
of
not.
directional signs may not be given though, like if it's just a
It's
basic,
not.
like
So,
just
like, are we
says home
guaranteeing-
being sold that you can get at Home Depot. That
Like
just says
how
home
many?
for sale this way, how many signs we gonna put out that say that? Or if it's a branded Keller Williams and it has the logo and all of
But
that.
there's
My thought
rules
is
and
quantity.
regulations.
Yeah.
So
And
So
how
like maybe with the basic, you have 5. And then with 7, yeah, they still might not.
There's still, you
Yeah.
can't even do that.
here, I don't do it because I got in trouble.
I rode around on Sunday to go snoop on a bunch of listings. Go ahead.
Could you work with some of your vendors to discount? Recommended them?
Well, I don't know, Brian. Can we do that?
I think-
Would you be willing to have that conversation?
I think I would.
Okay,
That would be
see?
really great with the
Yeah.
concierge list, and it like we could highlight our top people, and it would say, hey, make sure you mention me for a discount.
Mhm.
Maybe have that partnership.
Yeah, so maybe when we do our vendor fair, we talk about if you refer clients to us and you use, and it's one of our agents, you offer a 5% discount.
I think that's great.
Yeah, I think so.
It's part of a value add. Even if your quote is not the cheapest, people that are getting the word discount think it's a better deal. Why? I can't explain it. I'm a psychiatrist, but that's how it works. They like getting a deal. People like getting a deal.
They look at the higher quality.
That's right.
Yeah.
They got-
All right, for all you basic people, what are we missing here? What do you do that's not on here?
Feedback. I mean, getting feedback is very important to me. Clients need to know.
Follow up and
Yeah,
feedback.
follow up
Oh,
and
yeah.
feedback is hard, so.
Oh, yeah, you can have like maybe a communication expectation list.
Right.
And it can either be heightened if you want it 7. That's talk every day.
So
There's a few agents that do they send all of their clients an email every Thursday with an update, even if there is no update.
I do
I have-
Fridays.
Mhm.
I have a suggestion. There is a feedback, report in Showing Time.
Mhm.
If you send that to every agent or if you make the call to the agent that showed it, get their feedback and type it up, you can send that client for 7 or 8%. You can send that client a report that shows all of the feedback
Mhm.
that- for every showing.
Feedback report?
Yeah.
If you can get-
only you could get them.
Yeah.
to do it.
No, that's what I'm saying.
If any of you are buyer's agents,
On the phone.
please give feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you can get them on the phone. If you email them something, they probably won't respond.
Consumer text.
It's like pulling teeth.
They never. Lynn, do we have a service called List Hub that we get as a part of our Keller Williams package? And we can work that as to where, when we, put our listing in, it gets syndicated out to over, 90 sites. And then List Hub, you work on your list. All the sites that access the number of that. If we can make sure you get access to that. List Hub.
List Hub.
It's called List Hub, not List Track.
It never works.
I've
Never works.
I've used it.
All right, negative Nancy. sit down over there.
work.
Every Friday and it
never
works. Oh, wow.
I do
Okay, so
manual.
I've actually had it. as
Well,
well.
the numbers have-
Well, it doesn't pull in like.
Well, it's probably only as good as what people are putting in, right? And so, I mean, that's your only,
Realtors
you're
always
at the mercy
claim
of that.
Zillow is not on there anymore.
So just report.
Sorry, I was wondering.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
With feedback, maybe it's something we, on 7%, we let them know what's going on in their neighborhood. So they know what their competition is, what's gone under contract, like they're always in the know.
Like new listings that
See, I
just
do
hit the
all
market
that
after they're
you know?
listed.
I'm like, yes, but if
Yeah,
they've been on the
but if
market,
new things come on,
Update.
then
I
it's
just
like,
feel like
they
that's my
wanna,
job.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah,
Some
but that's like
neighborhoods,
there's
yeah.
a free listing, but once we've got them, then what if it's sitting?
Yeah.
That kind of helps you.
especially if you're doing your price adjustment, meeting with them 2
Yeah.
weeks after their listing's been on the market and you're like, okay, let's reevaluate.
I
Price.
set those expectations.
I do.
Yeah.
I mean.
I would like to know who's getting 7 and 8.
Yeah, I would
here.
too.
I know.
I was
Weird.
So I'll tell you a fun story. So there are several that are getting 7. If you are not confident in what your value is, you're not gonna get 6. There's an agent, who is a top mega agent team owner in Atlanta Partners, not in our office. As soon as she's at the table having a conversation and they want to talk about commission, she said, thank you so much. It's been nice meeting you. And she starts walking out the door every single time. You know what I'm talking about? Uh-huh. If you're not confident and willing to reduce your value, shame on you. I'm just putting it out there. If you are willing to reduce your value of what you're providing because they have made you feel that way, then you don't know your value. You guys better know your value and you better be confident in it and be able to articulate it at a high level every single day. Or this business is going to get really hard.
In reality, that's real easy. No, it's not as easy.
Hmm?
I promise you. Learn what Eric just said, how to articulate your values. You can almost always stop I got somebody else that wants to do 5%.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens, but just, I don't get up and walk away, but I just tell them they're not as good as I.
Yep.
I don't say it quite like that, but the truth of the matter is, if you want values, want someone to put you through this unscathed, you're not gonna get a 4%.
No. No, when Anna was here, last month, she said, never let a seller or a listing agent determine the value of services you are providing. Period. I mean, you have to be in charge of dictating what you are providing, your services and the value and what your costs are. You got to know what that is so you know where your leverage is having negotiating conversations with people.
See, and the next time we need to do a whole one of these on the buyer's agent.
Yeah,
That's where we're
exactly.
really.
So those are two of the classes that are coming up. One of them is nominee class.
And I know Dominique talks about, she does two packages, the 6% and the 7%, and then her third column is a la carte. So they choose if they want 3 to 4 other options, they can add that on to the current package, but there's a dollar amount associated with that service.
Mm-hmm. So she has said the expectation of what she has committed to do in return, they got to choose what they were willing to pay her.
I love
Fair.
that idea. That's something I'm gonna implement.
Yeah.
I have not done this, and I think it's really.
Because let's be clear, the biggest financial part of a transaction is not your commission. It's the mortgage. So if you can reduce a rate for somebody, talking about affordability, if you can do that for your client, do you think that they're willing to pay you more? All day. I would go to bat and argue that all day long. They will. You can save the money on their rate for 30 years. You better believe they're willing to do a one-time purchase. Something to think about. What else? 7%.
Professional photos, you can add on a floor plan, drone, video, a walkthrough, whatever you would call it. Just tighten that.
So it's all of this plus that. Yep.
Maybe a the termite one, that storage unit, that's a a la carte item. Deep cleaning. Luxury marketing package, I don't know what that looks like. Sounds nice. And then right.
Going up on the 210.
Yes, with the higher.
The
coverage
premium.
package. Yeah.
Premiums. Okay.
Vendor coordination,
Yeah.
instead of just the list, now you're coordinating the project.
You're the.
Okay. I'll do like GC coordinator. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And some of those things might not be on the 7%. Like
Right.
some people might not need a storage.
Right.
I need to pull back on some of my 6%.
What do you got? Well, like, are you really doing it for 6%? Are you negotiating your 6%?
No, my 6% is not.
Thank you. Is anybody else in here negotiating their 6%?
Sometimes it's like depending on the
Every time I
situation.
negotiate is if I'm doing both sides.
Yeah.
I'll speak to the both sides of the phone, right? I do a very succinct package for my basic package. I include home staging, pressure washing, fencing. All of those are part of my. I used to give a discount on a buy sell. I no longer give that discount. But what I have found is that when these vendors show up to do this, it blows them away. So I'm constantly, I will show up in a big way to clients, my listing clients. What it also does is that we did get down to negotiating later, if I need to double, negotiate something for help. So
Are you paying for
Gives you more
those?
leverage.
I am paying for those services
Okay.
as a part, but also like, my Twitter pro over here, I have negotiated those services with my vendors to be able to provide them at a high level, not at the cost that.
But
Well,
like
the value you
landscaping-
give is the value you get, right? I mean,
But landscaping, do you have a budget? Cause
That's what I
one
was
person
gonna say.
can take a few bushes and then one person needs their whole yard done.
They need saw, they need all,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and
What's
and
the
I,
cap?
and I'm pretty succinct about, curb appeal. Like
Mhm.
landscaping curb appeal,
Right.
like around the.
Some
sidewalk,
flowers,
That
some
curb
color.
appeal.
You have to
Yeah.
tailor that and get
It's
there.
kind
I just talked
Right.
to the guy from Maine.
Can I take that? I mean, it just needs to be cleaned up.
He said, how much? do you
Yeah.
think
I'm just under-
this for? I said,
That's-
I can give you general numbers right now, but still it's in your house.
well, you made a comment about 6%. So what is in your 6% that we don't have here?
Everything up there pretty much now, let me just say this. I don't pay for anything, any of that stuff. For my clients at 6%. The only way, I mean, this is a business, the only way I'm gonna pay for that stuff, I'm covering my costs. Percentage. Whether that's, having a vendor hitting it in a discount, whatever that is. But, I'm going through and we're going professional photos, two open houses, 10 warranty on the listing, social media, all these things. With a very few exceptions, I'm doing that at 6%. My value is in my guidance, my ability to negotiate, protect their best interest. It's not in what I pay for. If I pay for something,
Mhm.
then my commission will go. Because it's a cost of the business.
Mhm. Do you have that broken out for them so they can
I
see
do
that?
not. As a matter of fact, I was gonna say this a few minutes ago. I think this is a great, now, the answer to this question is yes, generally I have it. But this is a much better list. It's more broken down, a little more specific. I think this would be I think this would be really good ongoing mastery.
Mhm.
Because there are so many different things out there that people come up with, and Thea's
Yeah.
already done some discounting with her vendors, and the way she approaches the double-sided deal, I could definitely learn from that. Chelsea's brought it, Carla's brought it. Some really good.
Well, and you do have to look at the ROI, because if I'm like, it's gonna cost me $2,000 to market this
Right.
the way I want to market it, or however much that dollar amount is, if I wanna do if I wanna do the staging, if I wanna do that, I've gotta know going in and feeling confident, this is not this, is what I'm bringing.
Mhm.
And I also like your thought on, that gives you room to move the tail end of
To
it.
negotiate.
Gives you some leverage at the
Right.
end. Yeah.
Also, I think it's important to know our hourly rate and how many hours per. Hey,
Lots of
because
hours.
if it's a $450,000 house, 3% of that is 13,500. So these things are probably not gonna cost $13,000.
Right.
So that's where we need to know how much I'm charged per hour and
Mhm.
why.
Does everybody here know what your hourly rate is?
Vendor coordinating.
Yeah.
Because when they would like for you to get a few estimates or quotes, I mean, that's a lot of your time. I put a lot of
That's,
time in.
that's.
So that brings, I learned,
That would go into your hourly rate.
yeah, I have learned
And you
so
can,
much.
you can
and
put
I
on
got
your all
lists.
part, hey, I charge $300 an hour to manage these projects.
Yeah, I heard that.
I mean, like if you don't know your hourly rate,
And
you
you're
need
the
to figure it out.
invoice person, you go between them. There's a lot of work involved in it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
It's
how,
also going to depend on what.
how do we find out our hourly
My
rate?
clients are very.
Your sales volume.
Guess you would know your average sales price.
I can look you up and tell you.
It's one.
If I doesn't know in here, I can look you up and tell you. So just send me a note and I'll send it
Just
to
for
you.
the formula purposes.
Are we talking about a 40-hour week? Cause that doesn't
Yeah.
exist.
Well, hypothetically.
Hypothetically,
Mhm.
So what's the formula? You have your average commission, And what? Divided by how many hours for,
I think if
Mhm.
you're gonna get a real number, you need to know how many hours you spend on that.
Yeah, because your net increase,
Just do kind of-
Right, what's your average?
You know, let's say you do, you think you work 50 hours a week, figure that out.
All right,
you gotta take your P and L first to really get your, cause I do a P and L with every property, so I.
because everybody here has a
Really
P and L, right?
Yes.
Yes, you do. Mm-hmm. They had a tax jail. What do you guys feel like will qualify for, let's just say the a la carte 8%?
Oh gracious, I can't wait.
I don't know.
Doing renovations, like actually,
Yeah, renovation.
Mhm.
general contractor type.
So-
like-
Yes.
Yeah, I want to make a comment.
No. Go for it.
I'm out.
Champagne showings, I don't
No, I
know.
think you need to be real.
Broker something?
Yeah.
Because you can list a house 4 or 5 months and not sell it. And then you've spent that money. You better make this a
No.
back end deal.
That's right.
Because if you're gonna say, I'm gonna pay for this renovation, it's gonna be at the close.
you need to have
It's not gonna be me paying
an
for it.
agreement.
And there is a company out there that,
There's
that I just,
yes.
yeah, that it's a pay it close.
Yeah.
And so that I'm gonna invite to come to the market center.
Ensign does that.
Yes, and Ensign does that, also. So yeah, there is. If you've never done any of this before, if you're new in this room, I know you have a coach if you're new. Everybody's got a coach in here. It's how we run this school. And ask questions. If you don't know, ask. Don't go out there and try to figure it yourself because you're gonna run out of money trying to make all the things stick at the same time. Have a plan, go in with a plan, know what your budget is and stick to it. Don't just, oh, I saw that on Facebook. I'm gonna go add, go to custom chocolate chip cookie that has my face on it. No, nobody cares about your face on a cookie. Don't spend the money on that. I know, Ryan is different. Ryan's a vendor. He looks cute with his beard. But I'm just saying, you guys get my point. Like, you need to focus on things that are gonna put money in your pocket. Yeah.
Well, and part of, I've been known to landscape for my clients too myself. So part of it is the leverage part. Are you willing
Yeah,
to go out and drop mulch for people? And that means it's just my time, or are you willing to pay somebody else for client? So that whole leverage piece too is another part of this as well.
Well, because that's what Jordan Freed said. Does your willingness match your wants? And are you willing to do the work to get the payout you want? And sometimes that means you do it yourself with a chainsaw, or you leverage and are willing to risk financially the expense of doing that so you can get return at the end. A lot to think about.
I feel like we should have a full-on mastermind,
I think this is great.
because I know
Okay.
we're out of time, but like,
Is this helping? Does this help you guys kind of understand like what we gotta be articulating and the conversation we gotta be having? And do you know your standards? If you don't, start writing them down.
So it's 7%, how many open houses?
Well, we've got 2 with 6.
Okay.
So we can move this to 4.
and then I also would dollar amount next to each one, not for them to see, but so. you
Yeah,
know,
the budget, yeah.
Like 25 photos. Here you get 50 photos and a video. Like build this out that works for your business. It's not for me to tell you how to design your business. We can walk through this all day long and you can write it down, but if it doesn't speak to you and in your language, you're never going to do it.
Another good service is pre-appraisal, like if you're having a hard
Yeah.
inspection on your.
Where does that fall?
And pre-inspection, seven, yeah, pre-inspection too.
Dara, this is Laura. Can you also please take a picture of this board before you erase it? And can
Oh,
did anybody get a picture of the other board?
Just for you. I got you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll actually take a picture and type it up because nobody needs to share all that. So it's a lot of scribble.
For 8%, would you do like manage the estate sale?
I would, yeah, something like truly like,
Manage the movers.
you are the person, they don't do a thing, they just let you have. Make their bed, I'm just kidding.
That's
good.
That's
I
good.
would say
That's
that.
fine.
I have never done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
That'll work.
Yes. Yes, true.
Yeah, I think you just have to decide, again, I'm gonna keep repeating this, you have to know what your standards are, you have to know what your value is, you have to be able to articulate it. If you are willing to negotiate it, then you don't know it. You just don't. If you are willing to cut yourself short, then you are not confident in what you're selling. Be confident.
You're willing to negotiate it. You don't know it.
Well, and I think
You're welcome.
That's a good,
it's important to know what these items cost as well. So if it does come up, you can be like, okay, well, let's just talk about that. Which one of these things are you willing to let go of?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because if we do that, then let's talk this through, because this is gonna knock out 4 of the things on a basic tax.
And email, like any of these that are vendor related, email them, partner with them.
call me.
Yeah, call them, whatever, say, if I refer somebody to you for a roof inspection, or I need 7 rooms painted, Brian, say, okay, I'll give you, if it's 4 rooms, I'll give you 5%, if it's, a whole house, I'll give you 10%. Partner with people that are in this office, because I will tell you, I know that's not gonna come as a shocker, and I mean this from all the love of my heart. They understand that they are an extension of this office. If they do not uphold that standard, they are no longer here. Period.
Now,
That is not
I
negotiable.
wanted to make that point.
It is not negotiable for me.
Having been on that side of it and been a vendor chair and seen a lot of stuff.
I've been a vendor
Yes, right, that's right.
for years.
That is why I think it is imperative for everybody in this office, every agent, big business, any client, any customer, to have that vendor list, because these people have been vetted. They are held accountable if they do not uphold the standard. Why take a chance? Because if you go, well, does anybody know a good electrician? Yeah, I do. Electrical pros, they're here. They're part of our program.
Mhm.
They've been vetted. We know they're gonna show up and do the job. Or you can just go take a chance.
Yeah.
You're a professional, it's a.
If there's a problem, somebody let me know.
I have one more thing.
Yes.
I just feel like it's really important
No.
to say. I think once we do this and we track the average days on market, the sales price, how much it's sold for, we can then add that to the value proposition. Okay, at 6%, this is the average days on market, this is how fast it's sold. 7% is sold this much faster for this much more. 8%, you see what I'm saying? So it adds more value and it makes more sense for them to choose a higher percentage because you're showing them.
That's right. You got
This is
stats
what
to
it
prove
does.
it. Numbers don't lie.
The other thing to be mindful of too, though, is, when you do the whole concierge and pick and choose, all that kind of stuff, understand that 6% is your threshold. And yeah, if you're not going to go lower than 6, what is it that you will not give up on as your threshold? So if you have the 6, 7, 8, or however you do it,
Mhm.
make sure you know what your threshold is. This is what I'm gonna put out there. This is the lowest I'm gonna go.
Yep. I wrote this down. It says if you are offering the same list of services that everyone else is doing, then the cheapest one becomes the most valuable. Unless you have the lowest cost. That is the only way you can win the price war.
In the absence of value, it's always about.
So if you're different and nobody can compete with what you're doing, it's irrelevant.
I think,
And
go ahead.
people know that experience on.
We are in the world, shrinkflation? Where it's, you get less for more. That's the world we live in, right? Why can't we do more for more? That's the world that I want to live in. You get more for more.
I think that's the point of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
A whole different. It's fresh and it does show value.
Yep.
Brings value to it.
Yep. All day, every day. Well, I'm gonna stop talking. We are gonna spend a lot of time on this, which is helpful,
Yeah.
talking about this. And so just, if you guys have questions, I know this is not a typical team meeting, but I literally listen to stuff every day. I had like 30 topics last Friday that I want to talk about today, but this, for a lot of people are scared. The consumer is scared, agents are scared. I mean, I've got a couple of capper friends and other market centers that are like, that's it, I'm out. I don't know how to have these conversations, because they've been in business for 25, 30 years and they don't want to retrain and relearn and change their business model. And that's okay, but y'all, there's a huge opportunity out there for business. So real estate started in 1891. The same reason people bought the houses then, it's still the same today. Marriage, death, babies, divorce, nothing has changed. Literally nothing has changed. The processes have changed. The market has changed. Affordability has changed. You've got to understand and master those conversations, because things haven't changed. Yeah, we'll go eat. All right, we're gonna stay on this. I might post this on the Facebook group. That way people on the Facebook group can just start adding to it. We'll just keep building this and sharing it with everybody. So, feedback, add to it, let me know, or we're just gonna keep building off
You
that,
do,
so,
I'm asking, well,
yeah.
we'll get some.
But
Who is our lunch?
I think we, electric is broke.
Oh, are they here? All
That's
right,
why
come on up.
I was talking. Huh? Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, hello. How are you? I'm good. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks so much.
So I'm Debbie and this is Jerry with Electrical Pros. We're your electrical contact vendors here. Gotta help with inspection reports and all these different outline. First of all, I just want to thank you for a lot of support during February 9th.
Yeah.
Last they were in the business. And so as I'm finishing up my treatment and whatnot, yeah, as I'm finishing mine up, we find out that he's got everything. And so it's kind of- yeah, so he's having treatment right now. So he'll have like 6 hormone treatments. Starts radiation. But
Big prayers.
keep him in his
Big prayers for you guys. Yes.
But anyway, yeah, very,
Versus
Perfect.
so I'll let him kind of tell you what kind of services.
The 2024 notepad.
power on.
Yeah.
Make sure.
Here, use mine.
y'all are a good team.
44 years last Friday.
Teamwork makes the dream work. That's awesome.
I have to tell you this, we've had, both had oncology appointments the same day.
That's the same on call.
Just like, yeah, I had a.
That is love.
I mean, that's talking about like being in sync. That y'all are getting
Yeah.
extreme. Can you stop with the being in sync with the cancer category? It's enough already.
They're being sync with something a little better.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Well, I know you do electrical work. I'm gonna go on a limb here.
They do mostly residential. Troubleshooting. Also.